జాబ్ చేస్తా. టీచర్ జాబ్.
ఏడాదాపుదామన్నా నీళ్ళు లేవు. నేడు దాకా చెరువు కట్ట కిందనే జలం ఉండే తాగుతుంది, కాలం అవుతున్నది. ఇప్పుడు కాలం లేదు, నీటి శాతం లేదు. మాకేం కావాల్సింది ఏమిటండి, ఒక నీటి శాతం కావాలి.
అంత బాగుండాలి. మేము కాక ఏదో గోసి పెట్టుకొని పని చేసుకుంటూ పోయినాం. ఆ గోసులు పెడితే ఇప్పుడు నడవయి. మేము మోటు పని చేసినాం, ఆ మోటు పని చేస్తే ఇప్పుడు నడవదు. ఆ పిల్లగాళ్ళు కూడా మీతో పాటుగా మా పిల్లగాళ్ళు కూడా సానిగా ఉండాలని ఆలోచన.
Dreams, desires, and aspirations. Humanity lives by these, whether it's an individual's hope for a better tomorrow or a leader's vision of a golden future.
In Swarnandhra Pradesh, we want to eradicate total poverty. We want to give better living standards. We want to create wealth for our people, and also we want to build values for the society, in the society.
In an age of all-pervasive cynicism, to keep hope alive is itself an achievement. To make an idea work and to turn a vision into reality, especially in a democracy, needs political wisdom and perseverance.
When I took over as Chief Minister, we had so many problems. One is financial crisis. At that time, we were unable to pay even salaries. Another is law and order problem. We used to spend more money on welfare rather than development. And at the same time, in 1991, we have started economic reforms in the country. At that time, I have watched all over the world, either Singapore, Malaysia, China, South Korea, all countries. Every country is following economic reforms. Politically, there are various systems, but economically, everybody is using reforms with human face. There is no difference of opinion. Finally, I decided there is no other way except to follow economic reforms and also overall reforms in all walks of life. Then I started Vision 2020. And at the same time, my aim is another 20 years time, I wanted to make Andhra Pradesh as a Swarnandhra Pradesh.
Arching flyovers, sparkling stadia, and a gleaming cyber city. People connected through modern communication technologies and a highly networked government. In short, a state on the move. But beyond these visible signs of prosperity, there are other markers of development. A new self-confidence and a sense of participation among the people.
చిన్న చిన్న కాంట్రాక్టులు ఊళ్ళో జరిగే ఏమైనా వ్యవహారాలు అట్లాంటివి ఉంటే మా సంఘాలకు ఇవ్వాలని మేము కోరుకుంటున్నాం.
మేము అట్టాటి పనులు చేసుకుంటాను కూడా మా కాడ డబ్బులు కూడా ఉన్నాయి సార్, మేము చేయించుకుంటాను కూడా.
ఈ పొదుపు వల్ల మేము ఒక్కొక్క సంఘంలో 1,50,000, 60,000 దాదాపుగా ఇట్లా
2 లక్షలు
సమకూర్చుకున్నాం. మా ఆపత్తులకు, మా అవసరాలకు, పెళ్లిళ్లకు వేరే వాళ్ళని అడగకుండా మా సంఘంలో మేము మా సభ్యులను మేమే తీసుకోగలుగుతున్నాం.
The women's self-help group, Dwakra, is among the most successful efforts in empowering the people. As many as 4.5 lakh groups, involving some 6 million women, make nearly 450 products and have a combined wealth of more than 1,400 crore rupees today. The ideals of growth with equity and efficiency with participation are also visible in initiatives like watershed development, joint forest management, and water users associations, the self-help groups that protect and manage these resources locally.
ఉమ్మడి అటవీ యాజమాన్య పథకం కింద ఏ గ్రామం అడవి ఉంటే ఆ గ్రామంకే అప్పచెప్పడం జరిగింది. దాంట్లో భాగంగానే ఇక్కడ కూడా వన సంరక్షణ సమితి ఏర్పాటు చేసినారు. ఆ చేసి ఇక్కడ ఈ ఫారెస్ట్ ఏరియాను మాకు అప్పచెప్పినారు. అటు చెట్లను రక్షించండి, దాని మీద వచ్చే ఆదాయంతో మీ గ్రామాలను మీరే బాగు చేసుకోండి అని మాకు అప్పచెప్పడం జరిగింది ఈ పథకం కింద. వన సంరక్షణ సమితి ఏర్పాటు చేసిన తర్వాత ఈ జనరల్గా ప్రజలు చెట్లు కొట్టకుండా కొంచెం వాళ్ళని అవగాహన చేయడం ఒకటి జరిగింది. ఆ తర్వాత ఫారెస్ట్లో భూగర్భ జలాలు పెంచడానికి కూడా దానికి ఒక ఫర్కులేషన్ ట్యాంక్ కట్టడము, ఒక 6 చెక్ డ్యాములు కట్టడం, ఈ ఫారెస్ట్లో నీరు వృధాగా పోకుండా ఎక్కడక్కడ అడ్డుగోడల్లాగా ఇక్కడ చెక్ డ్యాములు నిర్మించినట్టయితే ఇంకా కూడా ఫ్యూచర్లో వాటర్ పెరగడానికి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఇంత డ్రాట్ ఉండకపోతుండే, ఫ్యూచర్ ఇంతకుముందే ఇలా కట్టిన ఉంటే ఇంకా బాగుండేది.
I think as far as a vision for growth, Vision 2020 was a step forward. However, there are some starting conditions of Andhra Pradesh which need to be taken into account. One of them is that Andhra Pradesh actually, along with Tamil Nadu, is one of the 2 states in the country where over 40% of the rural workforce is landless laborers, as compared to the rest of India where it's little less than 30%. And this high proportion of landless labor makes a special problem for employment, and it's also the cause for higher poverty. So the transformation of the Andhra Pradesh economy cannot happen unless there are special investments to make people who are landless today into economically productive people.
Balancing development and welfare, long-term goals and immediate needs is not always easy. But when people become partners from being mere beneficiaries, they come to share the dream.
ఈ కట్టలు వేసినాక వచ్చిన నీళ్లు భూమిలో ఆగిపోతున్నాయి, మాకు పంట ఫలితం అవుతున్నది. మాకు పంట కూడా మంచిగా ఇట్టకెళ్ళి నీళ్లు నిలిచి పంటకు లాభం వస్తున్నది.
For involving people, we wanted to strengthen local self-government, that is one area, and also we are having self-help groups, especially DACRA for women and CMEV for youth to create employment. Even there are stakeholders participation, especially for education. There is village education committee to maintain the forest area. There is a joint forest management to look after water conservation. There is watershed development, and also to manage water very well. There is water association. To look after children, there is ICDS mothers committees. Like that, so many stakeholders who are involved to participate in the development and to look after their own affairs. This is one. That means we are having state government, we are having local self-government, we are having stakeholders involvement through self-help groups at the grassroots level.
దాదాపు ఒక బోర్ ఖర్చు కావాలంటే 60-70-80 వేల వరకు ఖర్చు అయ్యేది. 2-3 పోల్స్ అంటే కమ్యూనిటీ పర్పస్లో ఏదైతే తీసుకున్నామో ఇద్దరు కలిసి మాట్లాడుకొని ఈ పాయింట్ ద్వారా వచ్చే వాటికి దాదాపు 8 పోల్స్ దూరం, 8 పోల్స్ నుంచి రావాలి అని ఒక బోరు డీల్ చేసుకోవాలంటే దాదాపు 1 లక్ష రూపాయలు విద్యుత్ శక్తికే అవుతుంది. ఈ ప్రాజెక్టు ద్వారా ఈ కమ్యూనిటీగా చేసుకుంటే 3 పోతులు, దాన్ని 15% కట్టాలన్నా 15,000 కట్టాలి, 3 కలిసేందుకు 5,000. అదే ఒక్కడు కట్టాలంటే మొదటి కూలి చేసుకునే వాళ్ళం మేము. ఆ విధంగా కూడా మాకు ఈ కమ్యూనిటీ అనేది ఐక్యత అనేది దాని నుంచి లాభం వచ్చేసింది. ఈ బోర్లో 28 బోర్స్ సార్. 28 బోర్స్ అంటే దాదాపు 125 కుటుంబాలు ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు దీంట్లో ఒక 25 నాకు జ్ఞాపకం 25 కుటుంబాలు తప్ప 100 కుటుంబాలు ప్రతి సంవత్సరం 10 నెలలు వలసపోయేవాళ్ళు.
All the farmers who own borewells under this program have come together and formed a borewell users association, which works like a farmer self-help group, and they then collectively take loans from banks. Our bank lends to them. They buy inputs collectively, and some of the marketing also they do collectively. Now, in this case, you see there is both growth, there is both equity, there is efficiency, and there is participation. Now, such examples, if they are multiplied, and of course it will require a lot of creativity and improvisation on the ground from situation to situation, then we will truly get the vision of Swarnandhra that Mr. Naidu talks about.
ఆ బోరేగతోళ్ళకి ఎక్కడెక్కడో యా ఊర్లో కూలి ఉందో ఎవరు కూలి పిలుస్తారని కూలి చేసుకొని బతికేవాళ్ళం. ఇప్పుడు అది బోరేసుకున్న కానించి మాత్రము ఎవరికైతే కూలి పోవడం లేదు, నా ఆశలో నేనే పని చేసుకొని బతుకుతున్నా సార్.
The genius in modern governance is in building the institutional capability for replication of existing innovations. We do not have to reinvent the wheel. Take Andhra Pradesh itself, for instance, to give a few examples. In Andhra Pradesh, the government has gone some way in empowering the stakeholders in a few sectors. For instance, the water users associations is a mechanism by which the farmers as water users in the irrigation system and as stakeholders are legally empowered through a democratic mechanism. They actually elect their own committees and they are empowered to decide what happens there and also to actually improve the system and to manage it better. If things still go wrong, it is their folly. You can go and advise them, but they cannot blame somebody else because they have the need and they have the authority, and therefore they have nobody else to blame. Similarly, a more modest attempt was made to establish legally constituted school education committees, parents' committees, because one of the great challenges of school education in India today is because of the lure of English language and a variety of other reasons. Most of the middle and upper classes who have the voice, who have the power and the clout, they have deserted the state schools. And therefore, we have a peculiar situation of divorce of stakes from power. Those who have the power and the means have no stakes. Those who have the stakes have no voice and no power. And therefore, in Andhra Pradesh, a law has been enacted to make the parents whose children go to schools, they come together as a group in an elected committee and they have some say in the management of the school. And we have to go further and strengthen these committees.
Experiments in social transformation through people's participation are of course not new to India. The same vision underlines Gandhiji's ideal of Swaraj or self-rule. And after him in the 1970s, Jayaprakash Narayan's idea of Antyodaya or the last man first. While the social vision has its origins in these illustrious predecessors, the experiment in today's Andhra Pradesh is a distinctly modern one, with clear-cut targets, strategies and milestones.
Now if you compare previous, there is better living standards, there is improvement, better infrastructure in the villages. Even I have constructed 45,000 school buildings. I have recruited nearly 1,80,000 teachers. Even every 1 kilometer I have given elementary school, every 3 kilometers upper primary school, every 5 kilometers high school, every mandal headquarter junior college, every revenue division headquarter engineering college, every district medical, dental, all colleges I have given. This 6-7 years time. And hospitals I have constructed so many buildings, so many doctors, nurses I have recruited, and so many water schemes I have created, I have constructed. And then so many villages they are having cement roads, drains. Even we are able to give better quality of power. Like that, so many infrastructure I have done. It is visible. But another 4-5 years it is going to take for me to fulfill all these things, to complete all these things.
ఇటీవల కాలంలో గ్రామాలలో అభివృద్ధి అనేది మంచిగా జరుగుతున్నది. ఈ ప్రభుత్వం కూడా గ్రామాలకి ఆర్థికపరమైన విషయంలోనే అధికారాల విషయంలో కూడా మరి కల్పించడం జరిగింది. అయితే ముఖ్యంగా మేము గ్రామాలలో ఈనాడు రక్షిత మంచినీటి పథకాలు, తర్వాత మురుగు కాలువల నిర్మాణము, అంతర్గత రోడ్ల నిర్మాణము, సీసీ రోడ్ల నిర్మాణం కూడా చేపట్టడం జరిగింది. సాధ్యమైనంత వరకు గ్రామ సభలను ఏర్పాటు చేసి ప్రజలను గ్రామ సభలో భాగస్వామ్యం చేసి వారి యొక్క సలహా సంప్రదింపులను తీసుకొని గ్రామాల అభివృద్ధి కోసము మేము కృషి చేస్తున్నాం. అయితే ప్రజలు కూడా ఈనాడు రాష్ట్రంలో చైతన్యవంతులై మరి ఎక్కువ అధికారాలు ఉంటే బాగుంటుందనే అభిప్రాయంలో ఉన్నారు. అయితే గ్రామ పంచాయతీల ద్వారా మరి ప్రజలకు దగ్గరగా ఉండేది గ్రామ పంచాయతీ లోకల్ బాడీస్ కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువగా ఆశిస్తున్నారు. కాబట్టి ఎక్కువగా ఇంకా ఆర్థికపరమైన అధికారాలు ఇస్తే మరి ప్రజల అభివృద్ధిలో గ్రామాన్ని అభివృద్ధి చేయడంలో మేము ముందుకు పోయే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది.
The real challenge of governance in a democracy is to combine development with decentralization of power. For governance today has almost become synonymous with complicated procedures, lack of transparency, endless delays, absence of accountability, and the all too human reluctance to let go of the reins of power.
As a matter of fact, power, there is no such thing somebody is giving, somebody is taking. It is a matter of sharing of power, taking people into confidence. Even as Chief Minister, I am here to promote, to facilitate, to do things in a better way. To do all these things, I have to take everybody into consideration and everybody into confidence. Then only things will happen. People without understanding all these things, they want to concentrate more and more power with them. In the process, we are having all problems. For all these things, only the way decentralization and also time to time, consciously we have to decentralize and also we have to give all powers to the people. But generally, it's very difficult process.
Genuine decentralization and empowerment of local governments, and it's not merely a Gandhian ideal, but it's in a very practical sense a vital necessity in the country. Because unless there is a clearly established link between the vote and public good, I know that I voted for X, Y, Z, and therefore my life is affected directly in this manner and that manner by that person because I voted. I know the link between the vote and public good. Between taxes and services, this is my tax, this is what I get in return in the form of public service, education, healthcare, road, drain, water supply, whatever. And between authority and accountability, that they are completely fused.
Will this vision of reaching out to the poorest of the poor translate into reality? The answer depends on redefining roles and dismantling long-entrenched power structures. It depends on a new breed of politicians and bureaucrats who see themselves not as power centers but as change agents.
Just announcing a program would not necessarily translate it into action. There must be greater investment, I would think, both in preparing the communities into this new culture, into this new atmosphere, which I would think is not happening as much as it should have. There must also be a preparation of the staff and line in each of the departments to extend their services to the community and to see that the rhetoric is translated into action.
దానికి కూడా గవర్నమెంట్ ని ఏదో ఒకటి ఇవ్వాలి, ఏదో ఒకటి కావాలి. ఈరోజు మన పరిస్థితి లేదు, ప్రతిసారి కూడా మనం అడుగుతున్నాము మన పరిస్థితి లేదు అనేది. మన గ్రామంలో చేయడానికి మనం చేసుకుందాం, మనము గవర్నమెంట్ మీద ఆధారపడుతున్నాం.
The present impression is that with the people, that political system itself is a polluted political system. It is a system which is non-responsive to the problems of the people. This impression is to be erased. And Telugudesam Party under the leadership of Chandrababu Naidu has taken up a totally different view that unless we change the attitude of our own people first, unless we make them aware of the problems first, the problems of the people cannot be addressed too. This is where we have taken up from the party side that the commitment levels of our own people should be enhanced. As such, our people, our own aim is that Telugudesam Party cadre at grassroots level, they should act as the change agents in the society.
changing the mindset of the politicians, the bureaucrats, and the people is only one part of the challenge. The more difficult part is importing best practices from the corporate world into a democratic political system and convincing everyone that it is necessary for good governance.
As a Chief Minister, I am having some responsibility. People elected me and they have given power to me. In the process, they are expecting results. How I am going to do it, they don't bother, but I have to produce results. People are calling me a CEO. Whereas CEO will look after short-term and long-term benefit and you will plan accordingly. Whereas sometime politicians are looking after only short-term. Always we are thinking how to keep power for 5 years or if possible for next 5 years. In the process, we are not taking some risk or we are not taking decisions which are better for the people for long term. That is the biggest challenge.
Once again, it's very interesting that while a lot of progress has been made in implementation, it has been done in a kind of a corporate style. There is a CEO and then there are people who are implementing it. And in that sense, there is efficiency. But to make it sustainable, we need participation. Because eventually, development is a political process. It has to be broad-based. It has to be consensual. There has to be negotiation and bargaining. And therefore, if the efficiency is also coupled with some amount of participation by elected representatives at all levels, it would perhaps be more broad-based and rooted in this state.
The journey of trying to do things differently has not been a smooth one in Andhra Pradesh. Consensus building has been a major challenge. Redefining politics, governance, and people's roles have been equally daunting.
4 years back, I want to start e-governance. At that time, I called Singapore Networks. It was owned by Singapore government to assist us in e-governance. There was better opposition from employees, from everybody. Then I was forced to withdraw. Today, I am able to do on my own. Same approach, same e-governance. I have prepared my people. Now we are able to do, but we have lost 2 years, 3 years time. Like that, there are some compromises. But at the same time, I am not compromising any issue. I am changing the approach where people are misunderstanding me or there are visible opposition.
After years into this experiment in social transformation, and after several promising initiatives, where do we stand today?
గత 5-6 సంవత్సరాలుగా ఈ ప్రభుత్వం చేపట్టిన ప్రజల వద్దకు పాలన, జన్మభూమి కార్యక్రమాల ద్వారా గ్రామాలలో అభివృద్ధి అనేది కనిపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడిప్పుడే గ్రామాలు అభివృద్ధి చెందడం జరుగుతుంది. ప్రజలు కూడా చైతన్యవంతులై తమ గ్రామాలను అభివృద్ధి చేసుకోవాలని ఆకాంక్షిస్తున్నారు. అభివృద్ధి కార్యక్రమాల్లో వాళ్ళు భాగం పంచుకుంటున్నారు. ఇంకా ఎంత అభివృద్ధి జరిగినా ఇంకా చేయవలసింది చాలా ఉంది. మరి ప్రజలు కూడా అభివృద్ధి కార్యక్రమాల్లో భాగం పంచుకోవడానికి సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నారు.
Andhra Pradesh is the first state to have a meaningful citizens charter with a penalty for non-performance. For instance, in municipalities in Andhra Pradesh for 5 specific services, if there is a delay in delivering those services, the municipality is bound to pay to the citizen 50 rupees for every day's delay. Similarly, in the field of technology, for instance, E-Seva Kendra started in Hyderabad in a few places. Now it's only a sporadic thing on a pilot basis. But once you expand it, it has some useful things of convergence, several services under one roof, very fast, and public-private partnership. So there are some useful innovations. But the point is, are they on a big enough scale or in the crucial sectors to really make a strategic impact on the state's governance? That is the issue.
While I think a good first step has been taken in terms of enhancing growth in a very decentralized basis, it's not just the high-tech city in Hyderabad. What I'm talking about is all over Andhra Pradesh. I certainly know the districts of Rayalaseema and Telangana where we work a lot. These phenomena are there. But if to this was added a vision of equity along with growth, the state would prosper even more and it would have a more sustainable prosperity.
Development is a continuous process. My mission is very clear. I want to eradicate poverty. I want to give better living standards to our people. I want to create employment for the children. This is my task. What I achieved so far is tangible. I have changed the mindset. My determination, my dedication is very clear. There are no shortcut methods. One has to work hard. One has to create new work culture. Then only all these things are possible.
జాబ్ చేస్తా, టీచర్ జాబ్.
మాకేం కావాల్సింది ఏమిటండి, ఒక నీటి శాతం కావాలి.
మా పిల్లగాళ్ళు కూడా శానిగా ఉండాలని ఆలోచన.
Taking development to the last man seems a possible dream now. The vision of Swarnandhra, a golden Andhra Pradesh, promises much, not just to the state, but to the nation as well.